Magandang araw sa iyo. Ako nga pala si Jane Balbero, representative ng Group 1, nag-aaral sa MPC. Salamat sa pagtanggap sa aming imbitasyon upang ikaw ay maging bahagi ng aming case study about gender-based violence grounded on patriarchy or sexism. Pwede mo bang ibigay ang iyong pangalan, edad, at kung saan ka nakatira?
Tawagin niyo lang po akong JM. Ako po ay 16 anyos at nakatira po ako sa Antipolo City.
Sa panahon bang ito, nakaranas ka na ng pang-aabuso o pananakit ng iyong ama? Pwede mo bang isalaysay ang mga pangyayaring pananakit sa iyo?
Tandaan ko nung 7 years old ako, tinawag niya po ako para pumasok sa loob ng bahay. At doon niya po ako pinagbubugbog tapos sinigawan niya ako ng hindi maganda. Hindi magandang salita. Katulad ng salot daw kami. Wag daw po palambot-lambot. Na isusubsob niya daw ako. Isusubsob niya daw po. Ako dapat. Ayun. Kada po nakikita niya kung iba pang kilikilos ko. Mag-uumpisa na naman po yung pananakit niya.
Sa iyong palagay, bakit ito nagawa noon ng iyong ama?
Kasi di niya po ako tanggap. Nung anak niya ay bakla, ayaw niya po ng palabot-lambot. At siguro din po dahil sa pagod niya galing trabaho. Kaya pag nakikita niya ako, nagagalit siya.
Ano ang mga naisip, naramdaman, at ginawa mo sa panahong yun?
Siyempre po nasasaktan. Lalo na yung pakiramdam na ayaw sa ng magulang ko.
Nakatira ka pa rin ba sa pudam ng iyong mga magulang? Opo. Para matigil ito, ano yung mga aksyon na ginawa mo?
Lumapit mo ako sa barangay kasi hindi ko na po kaya yung pananakit ni Papa. At may nakapagsabi rin po sa akin. Tapos simula noon, naging okay na.
Salamat sa iyong kooperasyon. Hanggang dito na lang. Salamat sa iyo at marami.
Maraming salamat.
Background of the study: the victim, names JM, is 16 years old, lives in Antipolo City, has experienced physical and psychological abuse done by his father. According to him, the first time he experienced being abused is when he was 7 years old. His father looked for him because he already know that JM is a gay. And when they get inside their house, his father started to beat him and mistreat him, saying, "Salot ka, huwag kang palambot-lambot, isusubsub kita," and other words that can make JM feels there's something wrong with him. Starting from that day, when his father sees and hears about him being gay, his father will start to abuse him again.
Problem of the case. The problem in this case study is the victim's experience in which he was subjected to physical and psychological abuse by his father or the perpetrator, resulting in anxiety, trauma, and scars on his body.
Issue in the case. For the issue in this case, it is the effect of physical abuse and mistreat that the victim experienced. Also, the victim's right as a child being removed And according to the victim, it happens because the perpetrator can't accept that he is a gay.
Analysis of the case study. Cause of the problem. The cause of the problem was started when the victim is at the age of 7. It is the time that his father or the perpetrator knew about him being gay.
B. Source of parties opposing side of the issue. The perpetrator, enraged and hates gays, knowing his child is gay, feels ashamed, disgusted, which makes him angry. On the other side, the victim can help himself being gay. He is sure of this identity even though it will make his father hate and mistreat or abuse him.
Individual right violated by the perpetrator in his or her victim. The rights that the perpetrator violated were the Republic Act 7610, the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. This right provides special protection to children from all forms of abuse, neglect, cruelty, exploitation, and discrimination, and other conditions to judicial their development. Like what's the victim's experience, he was abused, discriminated, and neglected. Lastly, the right that was violated is the Republic Act 9262, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004. This act refers to the protecting the family and its members, particularly women and children, from violence and threats to their safety and security. Because in JM's case, he is being placed in fear and experience physical abuse.
D. Psychological makeup, characteristic of perpetrator and the victim. From what we have observed, characteristic of perpetrator was strict, controlling, and easily angered because he wants to see his child be a true man, and doing this, the perpetrator solved the problem with violence. While the victim's characteristics are traumatized and anxious because of the abuse, and also now he is living in the fear.
Facts, concept, theories. The fact are there are rights were being violated because of the perpetrator's action. The rights that are being violated are making the victim lose his human right and experience or making him suffer because of the abuse that he has been through. The concept of this study is the gender-based violence grounded in patriarchy and its effect on the victim's life. The theory that we can use in this study is the parenting style theory by Diana Buamrine, the authoritarian style. The authoritarian style, according to Diana, this style of parenting believes that children should follow parents' strict orders and not to think for themselves. Authoritarian parents tend to punish harshly, both verbally and physically, where we will see that our perpetrator has an authoritarian style, causing him to abuse his child.
Finding in the case, A. Spotted a conflict underlying problem imperable from the individual narrative account of both perpetrator and the victim. As the victim stated, he has experienced mistreatment and abuse in his father's arms just because he can't accept that the victim is a gay. By using abuse action and violence like beating, discriminating, or mistreating his child, the perpetrator think it can be solved because of this. The human rights of the victim are taken away from by his father. Ulit.
Discovery where the perpetrator and the victim are unconscious of. In this case, the perpetrator and the victim are not aware of Republic Act 7610, Special Protection of Child Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act, and the Republic Act 9262, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act 2004, which means because of this right, he can be put in jail. Also, the perpetrator and the victim are not aware that they might get caught or report or ask help to the following: the Department of Social Welfare Development, Anti-Child Abuse, Discrimination, Exploitation Division, the Commission on Human Rights, Child Rights Center. But the good thing about the victim was he stated that he called for help or report his state to their barangay officials, which helped him to stop his father from wrongdoing.
C. Consequence of dealing between the perpetrator and the victim from personal point of view. From our point of view, the victim should file a case because we can tell what might happen in the near future. To make sure that the abuse will not happen again, also because of this event, their relationship as a father and son is broken, or it was a big effect, only the time can tell when it will be fixed.
Conclusion: JM, a 16 years old, has experienced the gender-based violence. His father, the perpetrator, wants the victim to act like a true man and despises him for behaving gay. The perpetrator is unable to accept it, which is why he has mistreated and beaten the victim. This event causes the victim to lose his right, as well as experiencing physical and psychological abuse, causing the victim to become anxious, traumatized, and live in fear.
Decision and solution to the problem in the case. A. Action should be taken by the victim to end a problem and a nightmare. The victim should file a legal case to make him feel secure and not tolerate the wrongdoing of his father. And it was also give a lesson to other people who's doing the same thing about his father. Filing a case doesn't mean you don't respect your father. It only means not tolerating him, and you are just helping him to face the consequence of his action and to make sure he will learn from his own mistake. But the good thing about this case, the victim asked for help to stop his father.
Laws that should be applied to place the perpetrator in the bar of justice. To place the perpetrator in the bar of justice, the laws that should be applied is the Republic Act 7610, the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act, and the Anti-Violence Against Women and Children Act number 9262, because of psychological and physical abuse, neglect, cruelty, and emotional maltreatment to his child.
Insight lesson learned. A. What and how could have misery and suffering been prevented? To prevent misery and suffering, everyone should know how to accept, respect, and love each other close, and we should know how to be contented with what we have. Also, to prevent his should know our rights and obligations.
Realization and wisdom gained. From this case study, we realize that the world is getting worse and worse. The reason why we should learn how to protect ourselves so no one will try to hurt us. Also, in this world, there is happening in our lives that we don't want to happen but still happen. And it has a different effect on different people. But the important thing we should accept, let go, and learn from this in order to live a peaceful and happy life.